Hello and welcome to your Science News Update for December 28th, 2025. We've got a universe of discoveries to cover that have all happened in just the past couple of days, so let's get right into it.
We're going to try something a little different today. We're going to start at the absolute largest scale you can imagine and zoom all the way into the tiniest, covering the most fascinating science news at every single step of the way.
Our journey begins billions of light years away with a brand new discovery that's actually shaking up a core idea in astrophysics.
So, for about 50 years, astronomers have worked with this one big assumption that the wild, chaotic environment swirling around supermassive black holes are pretty much the same everywhere, no matter when or where you look in the universe. Yeah, turns out that might be totally wrong.
A new study looking at quasars, those incredibly bright centers of galaxies powered by black holes, shows that the connection between the ultraviolet and X-ray light they blast out isn't constant. Using data from a couple of observatories, scientists can see that over the last 6.5 billion years, that relationship has changed. This means the very structure around the black hole, its disk of swirling matter and its super hot corona, is actually evolving over time. And that's a huge deal, because it could force us to completely rethink how we measure vast distances across the cosmos.
All right, let's pull our focus in a lot closer to home actually. Just yesterday, our very own sun unleashed a pretty powerful M5.1 class solar flare. It came from a brand new sunspot and was strong enough to cause a moderate radio blackout over the Coral Sea. Just a little reminder of the incredible power brewing in our own backyard.
Okay, so from our star, let's turn to a visitor that's just passing through our solar system. We have an incredibly rare guest, an interstellar comet, and we are learning so much from it.
And I think this quote from NASA's Dr. Emily Saunders just says it all. This isn't just some random space rock, it's a time capsule, a messenger from a totally different star system, and it's carrying clues about how other planets, and maybe even life, might form somewhere else in our galaxy. Comet 3I Atlas is, wow, it is really something else. Found back in July, it's screaming through our system at a mind-boggling 245,000 kilometers per hour. The James Webb Space Telescope took a look and found it's loaded with carbon dioxide and nickel, which is pretty unusual for comets from around here. And get this, its coma, the fuzzy cloud of gas around it, is nearly twice the diameter of planet Earth.
And you know what's really cool? Scientists got this amazing, lucky shot from the Europa Clipper spacecraft, which is on its way to Jupiter right now. It managed to see the comet's tails from an angle we just can't get from Earth, and it confirmed the comet is just intensely blasting out water vapor, which then breaks down into the oxygen and hydrogen it spotted.
Continuing our zoom-in, let's land on our next-door neighbor Mars, where a new discovery could literally pave the way for the first human explorers.
The biggest hurdle for sending people to Mars has always been what they'll do when they get there. You need water to drink, oxygen to breathe, and rocket fuel to get home. Well, it now looks like researchers might have just hit the jackpot. In this one region called Amazonas Planitia, orbital images have found a massive deposit of water ice just waiting right under the surface. We're talking less than a meter down. This is a complete game changer. It means future astronauts could just dig it up. They could get drinking water, split the water into oxygen to breathe, and even make rocket fuel for the return trip. This spot just rocketed to the top of the list for where humans might take their first steps on Mars.
Okay, our journey is coming home, right down to planet Earth and even inside our own bodies. We've got a lightning round of some truly incredible breakthroughs in medicine and biology.
First up, scientists at Stanford have mapped out the exact biological pathway for a very rare side effect of mRNA vaccines, myocarditis, or inflammation of the heart. They found it's a two-step process. The vaccine can trigger a signaling protein, which then basically calls immune cells to the heart and causes trouble. But here's the really exciting part. They think a dietary compound called genistein might be able to block that signal, potentially stopping the inflammation before it even starts.
On another front, scientists have found a new chink in the armor of some types of cancer. It turns out certain tumors use this desperate, really sloppy emergency repair method to fix their DNA. And while this sloppy fix keeps them alive, relying on it is also a critical weakness, a clear target that future drugs could exploit to kill only the cancer cells.
Sticking with cancer research, for years, scientists have been trying to make this one very promising natural compound. It's kind of like they were trying to bake an incredibly complex cake without having the recipe. Well, they finally found the recipe card.
The compound is called mithraphylline.
It's found in tiny amounts in tropical trees, but the problem has always been getting enough of it to use. But now, and this is the breakthrough, researchers have identified the specific enzyme that gives this molecule its powerful, uniquely twisted shape. This discovery basically unlocks the door to making it in a lab, sustainably.
And in the world of genetics, an international team has zeroed in on mutations in a single gene as the cause of a rare, devastating form of diabetes in infants. The gene is essential for the cells that make insulin, and knowing its role is a massive step towards finding new treatments.
All right, for our final stop, we are zooming in as far as we can possibly go, inside the atom smashers at the Large Hadron Collider, where physicists have solved this beautiful little puzzle.
So here's the mystery. When they smash particles together at the LHC, they create this tiny fireball that's hotter than the center of the sun. And yet somehow really delicate things like simple atomic nuclei come out of that chaos intact. How is that even possible?
Well, the answer is actually pretty intuitive if you think about it, with this fantastic analogy. You would never try to assemble a delicate soufflé inside a blazing hot oven, right? The ingredients would just be incinerated. You bake the parts, take them out, let them cool, and then you put it all together.
And that is exactly what's happening. The LHC figured out that these fragile nuclei don't even try to form inside that insane initial heat. They couldn't survive it. Instead, their building blocks fly out. The system cools down incredibly fast, and only then, in the aftermath, do they come together. It's all about timing.
So there you have it. From the very fabric of the cosmos evolving over billions of years, to visitors from other stars, to our future on Mars, to the secrets inside our own DNA, and the fundamental rules of matter. All of this has changed in just the last couple of days.
It's just an incredible reminder of how much there is still out there to learn. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are we going to find out tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me.